Welcome to another edition of In Your Neighborhood. Hi everyone, my name is Mike Rennig. I am the senior broker, the team lead with Team Rennig, part of that great Keller Williams on the Water family. This is part of my promise to share Longboat and the surrounding communities with you. My guest today is Mr. Stephen Reed. Welcome, Steve.
Hey, good to be here.
Nice
to
to
see
have
you again.
Steve is the owner publisher of not only the Longboat Key News, but also the Sarasota City News.
Yes.
City News.
Yes, yep, we're a busy organization, but
So based on that, though, where are we today?
well, we're in the hub of the region. Really, we're at downtown Sarasota,
Okay.
on Gulfstream Avenue, which faces the bay. We are literally on one of the beautiful residential arms that comes off of Main Street. Palm Avenue is on the back of this street, and on the front is Gulfstream.
What is this right here?
Well, we're literally on Gulfstream Ave.
Yeah.
This is all Gulfstream Avenue.
And there seems to be some kind of work going on here. What's that all about?
Well, yeah, this is a big deal, and was a big deal for weeks
Well,
and
the
weeks.
building's gone.
Building's gone. That's right. Well,
Do they know who took the building?
yeah, the building's gone, and it's been designated because it's what Sarasota does. This is going to be forever wild parkland.
Okay.
Just playing. Here's what happened.
I was going to ask what that meant.
Here's what happened. The building was an old, dilapidated condominium, right? And it was bought up, and the owners, Seaward Development, went to the city and wanted to see what they could build.
Okay.
They met all the codes, they met with the neighbors, and in the city of Sarasota, the way it works is if you have a development project, if you meet all the applicable zoning and building codes, the administrator, meaning the director of planning, zoning, and building, Tim Litchett, they can issue a building permit
Without going in front of the council.
without going before council.
Okay.
The idea being, if you're not asking for anything extra, if you're not asking for extra height, extra units, setback,
Parking.
density, parking allowance, all the usual things, well, then you've met those requirements. It's the extras you get to ask. And the theory behind that is the community wrangles with the city in those codes, setting up codes that
Okay.
works for the community. You meet them, you move forward. So that's what they did. They met those codes.
Well, what are they, within the guidelines of the codes, what are they planning to build?
That's going to be an 18-story luxury condominium. It's going to be kind of homage to the Sarasota School of Architecture. It's going to be a lot of glass, a lot of light going through the building. It's going to taper. It's going to be a little wider at the base and taper up to help preserve view corridors and allow some light onto Palm Avenue.
And
It's going to be a modern-looking condominium.
And they're not just average condominiums. There's going to be, they're planning on 23 units here.
It's going to be super luxury.
The price point is $3 million to $9 million. So
Right.
these will be super high end.
Correct.
The demographics in Sarasota is changing. Lots of big money is moving in here. Folks in their 50s are starting to move in. We've seen that based on some of the donations to Ringling and things like that.
Oh, and you
here.
know
so this
from-
supports that.
I can tell you the news side, and I gotta tell you the news angle's huge. But you know from real estate how important it is for people who want to live downtown and walk to the restaurants. They can walk to the arts. They can walk to their boat at the marina.
This is an amazing
So
location.
downtown has turned into one of the most sought after areas. It used to be high end was on the island, and downtown was vacant.
Absolutely.
Retail. Well, in the last 15 years, this is the place.
In fact, on average, to buy a condominium in downtown Sarasota, it's more expensive than out on the islands.
And who would have thought that?
That was surprising to me. So this project is moving forward.
But-
are all the neighbors happy? with
No,
that?
what happened was, in the code though, even though the administrator can give approval, right, there is tucked in there that says if you're an aggrieved party, you can bring an appeal.
Okay.
And you bring the appeal to the Planning and Zoning Board. And if the Planning and Zoning Board agrees you're aggrieved, then that appeal moves forward. And you have to, now the definition of who an aggrieved party is, means someone who has a legal right that's especially impacted, that is protected
by the project.
So these residents who were opposed to it, who live mostly on Palm, a lot of them neighbors at Royal St. Andrew, they came forward, hired an attorney, Dan Lobeck, fought, vociferously in the Planning and Zoning Board, but they failed to meet the standard, and they were unanimously denied of reaching the standard of an aggrieved party. They were fighting for things like, I just won't want to walk down the street because it's going to look too big, or I don't like the wall. But none of those are legally held rights. You don't have a right.
So does that mean that battle is over?
Well,
or is it still going on?
Yeah, that battle, they can appeal that decision. They have up to 10 days. That appeal period ends in about 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
So if nothing happens, then this project moves forward unfettered, and you're going to see, right now the construction continues. They were given a permit, it continues. But if they can appeal to the commission, they can't always go to court, but they have 10 days to do it within the city. They haven't done that yet. Now, the second part of the story, and I'll say this quickly, it gets a little complicated, is that group married with a bigger group named STOP, which was headed by, in many ways, Jen Ahearn-Koch, Eileen Normile, some people like Molly Cardaman on the city. They mean really well. They care about the look and feel of their neighborhoods, and they really want more chances for the public to weigh in and sort of work these approvals and have more interaction before
more upfront input.
More public hearings, basically. So they went to the commission last week and tried to get the commission to change this, get rid of this administrative approval process, bring it to boards. Commission voted against that, 3-2, close vote. So right now that administrative approval thing remains, which developers like because they see the envelope they have to meet.
They know the specs.
Yeah, it's not a subjective.
They move forward.
Yeah, it's not a subjective play. So right now that system is staying, and that's where we are. The city is looking though to find ways to keep these residents. You have this project, you have the Selby Garden, you have the Bay, you have a lot of places where these people are trying to get entitlements to build, people upset. How to get the public engaged is important.
Oh, I absolutely agree. So
that's
this
where we're
story isn't finished. So we need to come back down the road and update everybody with where this is at. So there's a couple of day deadline to get through some of the legal hurdles. The project is moving forward. We can see that. There'll be more as this thing unfolds.
There is, and to be fair to the owners of this project, they played by the book.
Yes.
Went through 4 years getting their approval, start construction, then they get a little letter saying, oh, it's been appealed. And that could stop millions of dollars of investment.
There's a lot of money at stake, absolutely.
And it turned out to be over nothing, but there has to be a better way, is the idea.
So let's come back.
Yep.
Promise everyone we'll come back. We'll do an update here with the other stories we're following. Once again, Steve, thank you. Excellent job. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week. Take care, everyone.